Hey, everybody. Welcome to this fantastically hot swamp butt hour, a podcast hour of the Mo Carnivore. I'm glad everybody stopped by today. This is a special day for me. It is a celebrate. I love celebrating my birthday. It was just last Tuesday, but this right here was a lifestyle change milestone for me. 2 years ago, I have become carnivore. I made that decision, and I am so grateful. And I'm looking forward to everybody today because it's a celebration. I will share the link again, but I do have it pinned if anybody wants to come in because it is a celebration. I am looking forward to everybody today. Before we get started, to say hi, let me do this again. I want to apologize a little bit. I had a little bit of internet connection issues trying to go because my intro was a little bit frozen there, but I'm glad that everything worked out and didn't have to back out, start over. So let me go say hi to a few people because I noticed a lot of came in and I am grateful. And get to the top. The first one that come in is Amanda. Welcome. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you coming in. And she said, congratulations on the 2-year Carniversary. It is an amazing job. I feel on my second year, as I've ended, going into my second year and working on my third year, this last 2 months really was an eye opener for me, especially doing this lion diet. And I done carnivore, but I've done more of the regular carnivore. And, I realized that can't eat a lot of dairy. I gained weight. I had a weight stall. But what's the awesome thing is I gained 20 pounds. But now, as I am approaching the end of July, I started the lion diet and I went to regular carnivore. And I kind of do majority lion in July, but I do have like the popples and I make heart attack burgers, certain little things like that. But I don't eat the cheese like I did. But the last few days, I had really been back on the lion. And I do best on it. And today for my celebration dinner, I did another video and I'll have it out. I'm hoping I'll have it out by next weekend because I'll be back on call and I don't have to worry about trying to record a video. But I did what they call uso buco, which it is a braised beef shanks. It's an Italian dish where they use braised beef shanks or veal shanks that they slow cook after you braise it, and it's so good. The first time I had beef shanks slow cooked for 6-7 hours, and then I had the bone marrow. Oh, it is so delicious. That's the first time I had bone marrow. It is delicious. It was just like butter. So I'm gonna have to get me some soup bones where I can get bone marrow and do that because that is so phenomenal. Thank you again, Amanda, for the Carniversary. And we have Rick. Our said hello quackers, and that's one thing is 2 years ago I said no to the duck food, and then some fermented foods I learned a valuable lesson. When we try to add something a little bit back, for me, I decided I wanted some olives, and olives is a fruit, but I decided to have olives last week. I ended up with stiff left ankle. I mean, it was stiff where I couldn't hardly walk. And then my hip stiffened up. Now I straightened and organized shop, but like month prior, I did break records. I did a sub surround. I put an entire bathroom ceiling, a 8x4 ceiling in by myself, no problems and stuff. And my ankle stiff. I couldn't hardly walk. Same thing. It was like Thursday, but by Thursday I was back straight lion diet, and I was thinking, it's like, what did I eat? What did I do different? The only thing is olives. So guess what? Olives, no more. It's on my no list. So it's on the duck food list. I'll give it to the ducks. They can have it. And then Amanda said, hi, Rick. And Cindy John, congrats. Thank you for stopping in. I got Lynn, 20QQ Cat, said hi, Kelly All, and said congrats. Woohoo. And I'm looking forward, not this coming weekend, but next weekend, August 8th. I am looking forward to meeting you, Lynn, in person. And we have Dan. Yes, my dude. Welcome, Dan. I'm glad you're here. Dan, one of these days, Dan, I will take a trip to New York. I was never wanted to plan to go to New York City, but I have two fellow carnivore friends in the community, Lewis and Dan, and now I have a reason to go to New York. You'll have to give me a tour of the city someday when I get out there. Oh, and look who entered the stage. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on, Kelly?
Not much. Your ears must have been itching when I said I had no desire to go to New York, but now I have two friends in the community, Lewis and Dan, and now I have a reason to come.
I want to move to Missouri. I can't stay in New York anymore. I'm so done with this place, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I wanted to stop by and say congratulations, man.
Thank you so much.
It's huge. It's enormous. It's a big feat to get to that point, because it's an everyday process, right? It's not
Absolutely.
letting go. Sorry, I'm trying to walk my dinner. No, it's so important, man. So that's why I just want to stop by. And plus, we never had the opportunity to interview each other. So I definitely want to have that opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. My email's in there in the in my deal or in my channel where you just reach out to me, and we'll definitely get together sometime and do an interview. I would love to come on your podcast 6 a.m. on a Saturday. It would be awesome.
I'll tell you that definitely gives me some self-evaluation. The moment I wake up, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is too early. It's worth it.
Yeah,
but listen, I wanted to stop by. Congrats. Keep doing that hard work, and it all pays off at the end.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the encouragement.
Absolutely, man. God bless you and the family. Later.
God bless you too. Later. That's awesome. Awesome. I am so looking forward. This is why I love this community. I love it. I have a group of friends, and as it goes, it grows. Dan, I got to know Dan a little bit from other, where we were guests on other lives, and he has a channel, Lions Den Carnivore podcast. He has a live Saturday morning, 6 a.m. my time, I think 7 a.m. Eastern. And we need to give him the love. Let's get his channel growing. And because in his live last Saturday, it was so inspiring. And we're out here. All we're doing is we want to spread the word. We want to spread this, just like Rick. We want to support him. We want to support his channel, what of his lifestyle with his videos. But he is one that is a prime example how a prime, well-oiled machine we have. 43 years on Carnivore, and what he did was, despite and found out that it was about health, and it helped him out. And now, 58 years old. He's 10 years older than me, and he doesn't look like a day over 35. And that's one thing. And he's a great friend. And one thing is Rick is very knowledgeable, and I love what he does. And one of these days, I'm looking forward to seeing that 7.3 IDI running in that brick nose Ford of yours, Rick, because cooking steaks, cooking heart attack chicken, anything on that truck engine, we are looking forward to that. Carnivore Karen's here, said hello, friends. Karen Huntington says, good afternoon, listening in, cleaning some closet racks. Hey, whatever you do to get the movement, that is awesome. I'm glad you stopped by. Thank you. Let's see who else. Carnivore Wayne here says, hi guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome in. And Leslie the Carnivore's here. Glad you stopped by. Hello, I'm glad you're here. And we have Vicky from Arkansas. Hi, welcome my neighbor to the south, the southern part of the Ozarks. That's where the part, and one of these days, I'm going to travel Arkansas because they have, just like Southern Missouri, they have some beautiful spots in Northern Arkansas that I want to do. And I am, I am so looking forward to 2027. No one's looking forward to hip, any kind of surgery, but we have to do it. I have to go through this. I want my full mobility back. I want to be able to move. There's stuff that I want to do next year. There's stuff that's inspiring me, stuff to where I'm taking this channel to another level that I want to take, share journeys, share adventures. I have a beautiful state here that I live in. It is, most of our states are diverse. Missouri is one of those diverse states, just like Texas, New Mexico, Tennessee, your Appalachians. It's very diverse in your region, terrain and stuff. Where I live, we have rolling farm hills. We do have cropland and stuff like that. You go south, cross south to the Missouri River, you have the Ozarks. Beautiful, clear water, crystal clear water. I mean, it is just crystal clear. Spring water. I've been down there 40 some odd years. I've visited. I hadn't been down that way except for traveling through, but I want to go hiking. I want to go bicycling. We have a Katy Trail called the Katy Trail. It used to be the MKT, Missouri, Kansas, and Texas Railway, where they took the state of Missouri and people funded to make a state park and turn this railroad into a trail. And I want to bike it. I don't know if I'm going to, I don't have people to come and pick me up and drop me off, but there's places that I want to share with you that I go bicycling. I have a bicycle that I haven't rode in a couple, 3 years, and I want to get on it. I want to adventure. And that's some things I'm looking forward, surgery. I'm not looking forward, but I'm looking forward to going through the recovery as a carnivore versus the last surgery I had when I was on the standard diet. I had poor habits and stuff. So I am looking forward to that journey. So it's going to be awesome. I'm looking for it, and I will journey this hip recovery as I go, and how I do through, through the doctors, through the surgery, the pre-op, the pre-op appointments to the surgery day, to recovery, physical therapy. I am going to just go through there and just vlog this because I'm looking forward, because this one's going to be different for me versus the last one. I didn't have no major surgery. The last surgery I had was in 2004, and I was very unhealthy. I was smoking almost 2 packs of cigarettes a day. I didn't realize I was already over 300 pounds then, eating a standard diet. I was planning on getting married. I was versed on getting married, within months, getting married. And I had my oldest daughter was on the way, and not realizing that I had a work-related injury that was just so minor, but the job I did was so dirty, crawling in and out of mold spaces and stuff, that I got hydraulic oil and dirt into a wound. And not only that, I had poor circulation. Didn't know that. Smoking. My body at 27 years old, 26 years old, my body was worse then than it is today. I was damaging it. And I almost lost my right leg. I have a scar that will show you that I was very lucky that the gangrene did not get to my bone. Otherwise, I would be a pirate. And I would have been, with a artificial leg. But I was very fortunate. But that surgery, the recovery, I recovered, but the recovery didn't go until 2 years later. I finally recovered after I had varicose vein surgery and all that. But that's the effects of having a habit like tobacco, cigarettes. And then I got hooked on tobacco in 2017, like Copenhagen, Skull, that stuff. And it really wrecked my health. I was wrecking it at age 40. I was really wrecking it as a man. I never realized was that. And I was heading over to 400 pounds again. I was going back to that. And then 2021, and it's a funny story, very funny story, but he's an awesome man. And I found out that he was a real doctor. 2021, I discovered Dr. Berry by accident. And the funny story is about this is I didn't know who this was. And I thought it was, one of those doctors that was getting paid to sell supplements. And that video, very first video from Dr. Berry in January 2021, and it was about 7 ways to boost your testosterone naturally for free. Real video. Check it out, man. If you're struggling, go check it out. It's really, really very informational. But at that time, when you're on a standard diet and all you see is the infomercial type things on YouTube or Facebook and stuff, where they go this long drawn to get you to buy something because they with doctors pay or the doctor self. That's what I thought. And I'm like, this is the funny story. I said, who is this quack and what is he selling? What kind of supplement is he selling? Is it worth it or not? And then as it goes, he says, I'm Dr. Berry, and where he says I'm a board certification physician and stuff. And all of a sudden he was starting to talk about ways to boost your testosterone naturally. He was giving out information to help. And I'm like, no, this is a real doctor. This doctor's wanting to give you hope. And I watched more videos and I watched more videos. This is in my early days when I did keto. I started with ketovore, carnivore, but I went more keto than I did that. I didn't know there, Sally K. Norton then. I didn't know that the plant toxins. I didn't know a lot of this. I always thought, just eating meat would be, eating meat is good, but just eating meat alone was crazy. And I'm like, I think you need a little veg, but low carb, I think the grains and stuff. So I did that. But what really got me going the following day was one of his videos. I'll never forget it. I will take that line from him and I will tell others why wait. So, if you're here today watching this live very first time, you don't have hope, and you are one of those like, I want to start the carnivore diet, I want to start ketovore diet, I want to start low carb diet, something, I want to change my life, but I always want to wait till Monday, because that's what we always say, wait till Monday. I was always like that. Let's just wait till Monday. I will steal this from Dr. Berry's line, because this is what got me started the following day. It wasn't until Monday. It was the following day, because if we decided to wait till Monday, it's going to say, then we're going to say come Monday, nope, I'm not going to do it, or we're going to be burnt out. No, he says, if you're watching this video tonight, why wait till Monday? Start in the morning. If you're watching this video this morning, why wait till this Monday? Start today. So I was watching that video late at night, because I stayed up watching because I was interested. That's why I subscribed to Dr. Berry. That's why when you see me say Dr. Berry saved my life, he did. He saved my life. He gave me hope. I actually did the work. Excuse me here. I did the work, but he's the one that gave me the hope when there was no hope. And what really truly inspired me. Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional because Because 2 years ago today, I decided to make that crucial decision because I was in so much pain. I was gaining the weight. I gained half of my weight back, and I was trying to do the keto the cleanest way because I found out about the keto treats and stuff that was garbage. And every time I was gaining weight, I never could lose weight, and it felt like hopeless. And when I started to go into this, and I was thinking carnivore's crazy. This is crazy and stuff. And then I started back looking into more Dr. Berry. This is how I found Carrie Mann, Healing Humanity, Homestead How. This is how I found out about Bill Knott. This is how I found Lily Kane. This is how I found Carnivore Quest. Let's see, Bella, Steak and Butter Gal, Rihanna Primal Cast podcast, I found all these people, but I'm still saying it's crazy. But 2 years ago today, I was at work. Prior to that, we had a flood. We had heavy rains, and it flooded an apartment. And the company that did the water extraction, trying to dry it out, kind of messed the floors up. And we let the people out. And we decided we wanted to go and put new flooring in, get the carpet out. We just put new flooring in because the flooring was already, it was a floating laminate or floating vinyl planking floor, but it was ruined. Let's get a new floor in here. But I wanted to go one step further to get rid of these old, crappy, I call sponge soaking baseboards. And I waited for my manager to get there. I was in the back of the bedroom. Apartment 503 is what the apartment at Tiger Village Apartments in Columbia, Missouri. I know exactly. I wish I had a video. I wish I could have done a video, but the apartment is occupied. And I'm not going to go and invade someone's apartment, but part 503. And I went in there and I was measuring, and I once he got here, I called. At the time, my manager was Maxwell Neenan. And I said, Maxwell, can you come to 503? I have a game plan. I told him I want to rip this off, but I said, I need to go home today. I need to go home because I am hurting so bad. But also at the same time, I'm getting more depressed because I'm 338 pounds. I'm close to gaining half of my weight back. And I'm hurting so bad. This was the worst year. I didn't even like the mission trip. I had passion for it. But at the whole time, it was not, I was so miserable. I couldn't do it. I was mad. I was, felt hopeless. And this was the worst year. I told him to go home, but I decided to stick it out. And so I decided, you know what? I'm going to give it today. Always heard, give it 30 days, commit to 30 days. I'm like, I'm just going to give one day at a time because I felt it was hopeless. I'm like, no matter what, it was hopeless. So I gave it one day. I decided to go for lunch. I got burger patties from McDonald's, 6 quarter meat burger patties, ate them. I got home. I was hungry. So I'm like, well, I'm going to give it one day. But I was going as a debunk. I was going to debunk it. Debunk this, and because I know I'm going to gain a weight. And I'll tell you what meal I had. I had 2.5 pounds of ground beef. I had 6 eggs and a half a pound of bacon. I ate every bit of it, including the fat, the render fat and all. I ate it, and I'm like, yep, I'm going to go. I'm going to debunk this. Well, guess what? It debunked me because I got on the scales the next day and I lost 4 pounds. Like, what? I should have gained. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give this another day. And I noticed my pain just a little bit subsided. Apparently, I already had a damaged hip, not realizing that I had a damaged hip. And so I decided to let me pin this real quick before I go. I want to pin the link. So if anybody don't see it, or paste it again. If anybody want to come on, there it is again. I do have it pinned, so if anybody wants to come on, go for it. But that next day, the next day I decided I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do it again. I had the same meal, but I only ate this because I was stuffed. I ate in the middle of the day. I was completely stuffed because I was full. Dropped another 4 pounds, and then come around and I'm like, oh, it's dreaded Monday again. It's back. I know I'm in pain, but I noticed something a little bit different. I wasn't in pain. So I give it another day, and come around Tuesday, they put the new flooring in apartment 503. We already ripped out the baseboards. And so the new baseboards just came. And so I decided, well, it's going to take all day to do this. Well, we got the saw over there because the shop was right across from this apartment. Got over there, and the saw, got the saw set up and stuff. Started cutting baseboards. Kind of done in 3 hours. Granted, this is only a 577 square foot, 1-bedroom apartment. We didn't have to do the bathroom because the bathroom's already been done. But the rest of the apartment, got it caulked in, ready for paint. I had to humble myself because it's like, okay, that day I decided I'm going to commit to 30 days. I'm going to continue this. Here I am 2 years later. 273 pounds this morning, even after I had a weight gain. 16 pounds down from June 1st after I had the weight gain. I am within 1 to 2 pounds where I stalled in 2025. Eating mostly lion diet, very little coffee, very little. I had coffee this morning. I decided I wanted some coffee, so I got some coffee. But pretty much I was doing the lion diet. Don't do as much dairy like I used to. It's a lot different. And how quickly the pain, the stiffness subsided on Friday, where y'all, if any of y'all were on Kiltz's live Friday, because it's supposed to have been Dr. Barry, it was end up guest. And I went over to an apartment because I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and get it finished. And you all watched me turn an entire apartment. We went in from talking about type 2 diabetes and Dr. Barry to turning an apartment in a half hour. Like, y'all watched me paint. It was awesome because, I'm like at work, but it's like I have freedom there. Like, I have a little bit of freedom. That's the beautiful thing about the work I do. I have a little bit of freedom. I can't just go and do that. I can't go into people's apartments, or if I have an important phone call, I have to drop and go. But it was really awesome. And I know that's why I'm happy that I saw Dr. Kiltz coming on at 6 a.m., 5 a.m. my time, because, even though it's a half hour, I kind of like that because I miss that because I don't get to watch the guests as much. Sometimes I'll get to listen to it as I go, and I may listen into it as, trash run, dumping AC pans and stuff like that. But it's really awesome for a community that we have today, that we range all over the globe. From Australia to Japan to Africa to England, from Europe to Asia, South America to North America, from Canada to the United States. We have a family of people like-minded, keto or carnivore, and it is so great for us to be here. And I am grateful for each one of us because we come here to hold each other accountable when we have issues. That's why I love these lives. Now, like Tuesday, I have, you'll see me about once a month on Keto Cookout. One time with Laura, one time with Rick. Only reason I had it this last twice is because I wanted to celebrate my birthday and I needed to move. It was my birthday and I mowed the yard, so I was already hot and I wanted to go relax. But I wanted to celebrate my birthday with my carnivore community. But Tuesdays, I will be at Men's Group most of the time. But every Monday, I will be on Carnivore Talk unless emergency happens or like I go on call for work tomorrow. If I have an emergency, I will be there. And we have Jerry, my sister from another mother. We have the same father that she's old enough to be my earthly mother. How you doing?
Absolutely. I started high school in 75. Wasn't that when you were born?
78.
Okay. I graduated in 79. Hello, internet son.
Hey, George.
George.
Nice. It's been ages since I saw you two.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we just moved to the house next door, haven't we? We were in Jerry's house, now we're in Kelly. So,
welcome.
Great though. I mean, the thing is,
look, we got another.
Yeah, Jerry's in Wisconsin. You're in Missouri, and I'm in Somerset, England. And yet here we are, all in the same house again. And
Bob is back.
We've all got together again.
So much fun.
I was born in 75, Jerry.
There you go. Yep. Yeah. I was 15 then. Wow. You guys are all youngsters. I'm Grandma Jerry.
Born at the beginning of the disco era. I was born in the height of Saturday Night Fever, and
September 2nd, 1965 for me. So I was a child of the 60s. So I'm over 60. I'm as I said before, I will be 61 on Wednesday, September the 2nd, when I'm flying out to Kalamazoo. So that's one way of celebrating my 61st birthday.
We'll have to give you a steak cake.
That sounds good to me. That sounds good to me.
It's
How many
Spanky with the sardine blanket. Just
He's got all the
kidding.
usual suspects.
We call it Spanky and his blankie.
Spanky is blanky, yes.
How we doing today, Spanky? How was your golf day?
I didn't golf today because of my fall yesterday, so.
Uh-oh.
But I'm going to try tomorrow.
I got a super chat here.
Thanks, Anna.
How do we? Oh, I got to go down here. Where is it? This is new for me. How we post that, Jerry? Is it just like we do a normal comment?
Yep, you can like it. Like I hit the like, I gave it a thumbs up. But in the chat, I believe there's 3 people right now that have donated to you in the Buy Me a Coffee right now, Kelly.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much.
So if you mouse over the comment on the right-hand side, you should be able to click on it, and it'll add it to the screen.
Okay, yeah, because I see it at the very top where it's, so the $5, but
yeah, and now you've starred them. So what that does is that puts it on a separate list, kind of filters them out.
Okay, now I see it. Thank you.
Switch between your live chat and your starred list, but you still have to mouse over the individual comment and click on it to add it to add the comment to the screen.
Yeah, I see it now. Thank you, Bob.
Yep.
See, I'm still learning this a lot. I'm like, I can show the comments, but I saw that. So Carnivore Karen says did 20 joules for a party hat, and Sharon did 2 joules for sparkles. Well, thank you. And a $5 super chat from Jiffy. Thank you so much. Thank you. It means a lot.
Her name is Anna, by the way.
Anna, well, Anna, nice to meet you, Anna. Welcome to the channel. It is so awesome to have my group of friends here today. This was a special day. Like I shared my testimony that 2 years ago today, I felt hopeless. I was gaining weight. I was doing clean keto. And more pain. The weight was gaining, and I was just gaining weight, and I was like, felt hopeless, and bam, I decided to take it day by day and not realize it. At the end of the day, I had 2.5 pounds of ground beef. I had 6 eggs, half a pound of bacon, plus the render fat, ate all of it, saying, yeah, I'm going to gain weight, end up losing 4 pounds. And here I am 2 years today, and adding stuff to my feed it to the ducks list, like olives. I can't eat those anymore. They affected me. That's the only thing I think of. And I'm like, not eating that no more. So it's like, and now, 2 years later, I'm doing OMID because that's what's doing the best for me. And now after I gained a little bit of weight, now I'm 16 pounds down, 2 pounds shy where I stalled a year ago. So
and pretty soon we're going to be calling you Coach Kelly,
Yes, because I'm going to go this week I'm going to purchase the Kilts Health, and so that way I can be part of it because I want to use it because I have a friend that he called me while I was waiting, because I was just sitting in the car while my daughter, they had a youth group, and they just doing water games that night. So I was just watching YouTube and listening. And then outside, my friend Jeremy, his name is Jeremy Bishop. We met in college about 30 years ago. We took the same college courses and the same degree at the same college. And he's like, yeah, was talking about it. I said, yeah, I've been on Carnivore for 3 weeks now. And his doctor loves it because his doctor is a carnivore diet approved. He approves that. And he said, and he's healing, he's trying to reverse his fatty liver. He said, yeah, I have fatty liver. I want to reverse it. And so he's on carb. His wife wants to get on low carb. She's going to work on doing more keto. She doesn't think the meat's going to be good enough. She's going to do more keto. And I said, that's fine. Whatever works for you. That's what you want to do. What is sustainable for you to stay on this mind change lifestyle works best. For me, it's carnivore, and more on the beef side that add a little bit of chicken and heart attack chicken, heart attack pork, heart attack burger, pacemaker pizza every now and then, but primary beef to kind of, keep the cost down. And so I told him, I said, whatever works for you. I said, the best thing to do, get off all the sugary drinks, get off the sugar, get off the grains, get off the ultra processed foods and the starchy vegetables. Get off of that stuff and then work your way towards, all the other. That's my recommendation, is get off that stuff, because that's what's hurting more. And then if you feel something different, go to the elimination diet, take everything out, go to, a carnivore diet, and then slowly add something in. And if it bothers you, then you can't have it. Just like I did. I decided 2 years, I decided to add some olives. Nope, can't do it. Goes to the ducks at the canal.
Well, sounds like you gave them some good advice, and the olives is interesting, because olives are a fruit, and a lot of carnivores, especially your animal-based carnivores, think that fruit gets a free pass, but fruits do have toxins in them. So there's a moderate amount of oxalate in olives. That's probably your leading culprit when it comes to you had joint pain, right? Is that what you had?
Yeah, I had stiffness in my left ankle. That's how I knew.
Yeah.
I have minor irritation daily in my right hip because I have no mobility. It's damaged. But I never, when I'm feeling good, it's very minor. It's not hardly recognizable. But when I ate those olives in my left ankle, I'm just relaxing in my chair or relaxing at work or getting out of my car. I'm like, I can't hardly walk. My left ankle is extremely stiff. And the only thing I can think of, that's the only thing I had, olives, because spicy dill pickles I have at natural grocers that I like eat every now and then don't bother me. But that's besides some sauerkraut time to time, that's not the only thing that I will eat.
So it's not. Yeah, so it's not fermentation byproducts because you're eating the sauerkraut and the pickles from time to time.
Exactly.
And if it was just like gut issues, it could be a sensitivity to not having plants for such a long time. But since you actually had joint pain, that really paints the picture that it's one of those plant-based toxins like oxalate or salicylates or one of those other ones that are in there.
Exactly. So, and I remember, that's why I like John Alpha, John Lasfina. I can't pronounce his last name, Carnivore Alpha Teacher. He is very knowledgeable. I really like his channel, and he's got very educational stuff. And so I think he's mentioned something about olives. So I went to his video about olives and sometimes how they process it. And the other thing is, just because where I bought it says 100% organic doesn't mean that could it be a farm that is next to a farm that sprayed glyphosate and it sprayed or got across in the air, or how they maybe process it, how they process the olives to ripen them or whatever, even if it's organic, maybe that, something like that. So I'm like, done.
That okay, so organic pesticides, there's really no such thing as organic pesticides. So
yeah.
I have a fairly sad olive story from September of 23. Okay, so I went carnivore on September the 11th, 9/11/23, thanks to Carnivore Soldier. About 3 weeks later, I went out for a Mediterranean-type meal to a restaurant called the Green Olive. As we know, green olives are kind of keto, they're low carb, so I had some olives, even though I'd gone carnivore. About 4 hours later, I had the most terrible gut pain, and I produced the most horrible gas, shall we say, that I can ever remember in my life. And that thing followed me around the house, literally followed me around the house. And I realized then that once you go clean, you cannot go back because your gut microbiome changes. That was the last time ever I ate anything with fiber in it. It was a real harsh lesson for me. And that was the last time that I produced anything like that, that smelled like that in my life. Jerry, you mentioned earlier, and I can confirm that, yeah, it was all about the fiber. It was all about the olives. So yeah, it was all about my gut microbiome had already changed after only 3 weeks, and it didn't like me insulting it by putting olives in there. So yeah, I have a pretty sour olive story myself. So there we go. It was a real lesson.
Yay. Yay, says Laney. Yay.
Brian says, congratulations, Kelly. You may have a million more, sir. Absolutely. Thank you, Brian. That's one thing about this journey is, especially I learned a lot in the last 2 months doing the Lion Diet. And like, today I hadn't had coffee for 3 weeks and I just wanted some coffee. I decided to have coffee today, which, no big deal, doesn't affect me. And so I had a little bit of coffee, but especially this doing the Lion Diet, it's like, I learned that treat dairy as condiments, treat it as a treat, like Kiltis ice cream every now and then. Instead of doing the full Kiltis recipe, I just do a pint. I get a pint of heavy whipping cream, and I do half of that. And I think I just do the 5 egg yolks that it calls for, but I just do half cream. So that way it's more of a custard and more protein, more fat on the egg side, more fat on the egg side, less of the dairy. So I do that. And like cheese, I don't make chopples. I make the poffles. I was thinking about that, and I remember Jeff mentioned that he did that, where he just did pork panko, eggs, and made poffles. And I was thinking that before he even mentioned that. And I said, Jeff, I was thinking that same thing. I said, what if they take the cheese out? Oh, it's so good. And then I decided to experiment with the poffles after I did the keto versus carnivore, keto, when keto and carnivore collide challenge. I did the poffles. I did 3 ingredients. I said, I'm going to try some. I had some heavy whipping cream powder and I tried it. It fluffed up that poffle more. So I made some poffles and I just added a tablespoon of just regular heavy whipping cream. And I'm like, wow, this is very tasty. And it tasted just like bread. It didn't taste the egg. I didn't taste the pork panko or nothing like that. It was delicious.
What happened to Rick?
I think Rick,
where'd you go?
Either Rick had to go back to work. Oh, I am stripping my dad's old 69 chair. He probably chimed in for a minute, take a break. He's back out working. Let's see. Of course, we got Spanky here. Says, hello, Kelly. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Hugs all around. Thank you, Spanky.
Spanky, is that bruise from your fall on your hand?
Yeah.
Oh, owie, that looks huge.
That's what she said.
Oh, Spanky, it's not dark, Spanky. Behave.
It's Kelly after dark, yeah. It is dark here, if that's any use to you.
Yeah. We're here in early to mid-afternoon here in central Missouri. And then we're late night in UK. And I don't know, Spanky, are you Mountain Time Zone?
Yeah, I think, Mountain Time.
Yeah, he's early afternoon with Kelly. And then I like this. Amy says, let's blow up Kelly's Buy Me a Coffee, y'all. This QR code, I don't know if it's on your all's end, if it shows the StreamYard symbol. Mine shows it here, but it is the Buy Me a Coffee link. If y'all do the QR scan at the top right-hand corner, that is my Buy Me a Coffee link. Even though it's in the chat.
I pinned it in the chat too, Kelly.
Awesome. Even though it says a streamer, I guess one of these days, this is where I'll learn to see if I can switch that over. But yes, when I tested it, it goes to Buy Me a Coffee. So don't worry if you think it's StreamYard, it's not.
Looks like it's Buy Me a Duck.
Yeah, that's what it is. Buy me a duck. If anybody wants to buy me a duck, I can. I was telling Rick this Tuesday night on Keto Cookout. I had a Rick moment as I was driving. I decided to drive the back way home or take the country. And so I came in the back way home. And as I drove by, there was a little herd of ducks, Muscovy ducks, the same ducks that he likes. And I had a Rick moment. I said, "Ooh, duckies, yum."
Yeah, I always keep my desk duck on my desk when I'm working with Rick, because I always give him a fly pass. So yeah, I didn't have a chance tonight, but he's gone. But there is Rick's fly pass of my desk duck.
And then Lynn 22Q Cat said, "I bet you'll have a great hip recovery. You're so much healthier and you eat so well." I'm looking forward to it because I'm vlogging this. The last surgery I had was unexpected, and what could have been, Jerry, you could have met me and I would have been a pirate, peg leg, because I would have lost it. I would have lost it to gangrene. I was very lucky that all they had to do was remove some tissue that healed back. I have a scar on my leg to show that I had this, but it never healed very well, because at that time I found out I was 305 pounds. Not only I was on the verge of I got married in the hospital to my ex-wife, and I had my oldest daughter on the way, and we were planning on a wedding in my parents' front yard, and all of a sudden I was put in the hospital for 10 days and almost lost my leg. And of course, as it healed, most of it healed, but it never healed correctly until 2008, and I had to have varicose LASIK vein surgery. But that it started healing, but still over time, still on the standard diet, still on it. He didn't know any of this low carb. I heard about low carb. I heard about Atkins. My mom did Atkins and stuff like that in the late 90s, early 2000s. Matter of fact, I did some Atkins as well, but I also didn't have support. I said, I want to do this low carb, I'm going to try it, but I never had support from on that end, because it's dangerous and all that. And that's one thing about, I have a friend that, as I mentioned, and my friend Jeremy, it's his friend. They went to school together. They went to school together most of their life. But he's like, he wants to do it, but he's scared because his mom is telling him, because his mom was a nurse, and telling him, "Oh, it's dangerous," and all that. And Jeremy says, on some people, it's not. I mean, if it is, why is it working? I'm doing it. And I'm like, that's the thing. It's like, are you going to listen to someone else telling you it's dangerous, or you want to step out and try it for yourself? Because the only way you're going to find out is to give it a try, commit, give it one day at a time, commit to 30 to 60 days and see where it goes. And that's what I did. I commit to it day by day. And after that 5th day, I'm like, I'm going to give it 30 days. The following week, I went to Nashville. Me and my daughter went to Nashville, Tennessee. It was a gift from work where I only used half of my gift, vacation voucher gift, went to Nashville, walked all over downtown Nashville. Very, my hip was stiff, but I was moving, walked all day. Following day, went to the Grand Ole Opry, toured, went to a mall, walked over because my daughter wanted to see a boot barn, walked to find a place to go eat meat. I found a barbecue place, toured the Grand Ole Opry house, and it was great. And then we decided to cut our vacation short, come home a day early, but instead of coming straight home, we took a 14-hour detour. We went to the Ark Encounter in Kentucky. I walked that for 2 or 3 hours, and it was great. And so, yeah, and then the following week I'm like, this is great. And I had to tell my tech, I said, I'm going to have to share. This is like I got to share my journey. I got to share this on YouTube. And he said, I think it'd be a good idea. And that's how I started my channel, even though after I finally got started and got my first video, and it's like, I hate this. I don't want to do this. It's not for me. But then it always comes back. That voice tells you, well, in case that one person has subscribed to your channel, or, that one person looked up to your video and thought there was hope there. One case that person, that's all you have. It's better than none. If you have that one, what is that person? You're going to give them, they're going to lose hope. And I'm like, okay, I don't like this, but we'll give it a try. I didn't know how to go. I didn't even know the ins and outs of YouTube, how to do it, how to wait, all that. But, as I go after a year, I started learning more about it. And now here I am, 3,503 subscribers later, 162, 163, four videos after today. I had some great, where they pushed it out, and then some that I hoping they pushed out, but they didn't push it out. But I'm not going to give up. But what I'm looking forward to is next year, after this recovery, get back to work, get some bills paid. I have a state that is so diverse. We have rolling hills, we have lakes. Our state has the most caves, to tour. We have the Katy Trail, the bike hiking trail. We have the Missouri Ozarks, including the Arkansas Ozarks. I want to go down there, and I want to change my channel as I'm going to gear towards that. After I recovered from this and back to work, I was I'm looking forward to doing, bike rides, hiking. I want to buy a kayak now. I want to go float the Ozark rivers down there and then that, in the South Missouri and stuff like that. So it's like, coming next year, my channel will still have some cooking videos, stuff like that in my journey, but I'm going to have more of, journeys and stuff like that, from recovering from going carnivore to recovering from hip surgery. And now I'm enjoying my life, enjoying what I want to do. Like, I want to do the homestead, but I'm like, I want to put the homestead off right now. I want to do this. I want to enjoy the state, because there's state parks in my area. There's state parks, national parks in southern Missouri. And I want to take y'all along, and share that journey.
There's a question on the panel for you, Kelly.
Just remember, Kelly, the movie Deliverance, when you're floating down in your kayak.
That would be in Arkansas, Spanky. I've been in southern Missouri. If I hear banjos playing, I'm going to row back up river.
Dueling banjos. Well, yeah, it's a really good bit of music. That I really enjoy it.
Yeah, if I hear You Got a Pretty Mouth, Boy, and I hear the banjos playing, the dueling banjos, I'm rowing up river and I ain't looking back. You'll see the fastest carnivore person rowing up, breaking the record, rowing up river. Let's see, where is that question? Let's see.
It's towards the bottom. I asked it for you to give you a breather. I'm also checking for any more questions that may be in the chat, just in case I missed them. Sorry.
Kelly, I'm going to wish you a happy Carniversary. I'm going to go back to editing my video and for Jerry's challenge, and I'm try and get that uploaded before the end of the day. So
well, thank you.
It was good.
Thank you, Bob, for coming on.
Yeah,
and I'll see you tomorrow night.
Sounds good. I'll see you then. Take care, everybody.
We'll see you later, Bob.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Let's see. Is it your question, Jerry?
Yes, sir.
For the panel, Jerry has a question. For the panel, did you watch Healing Humanity and Chris Cooking Nashville live last night, debating keto versus carnivore? Absolutely, I did. I got home from visiting my friend over, the big city of Madison, Missouri, that's bigger than Madison, Wisconsin. That's got probably the same amount of people that's in my town. But we both have Dollar Generals. So I had to watch it. I wanted to make sure I watched it. So I got there. I went ahead and pre-ordered Chris's cookbook. And I got Anita's ketogenic woman's cookbook in the saved cart. So I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna pre-order it. I'm gonna pre-order it, get it too, because I think it's a great gift. Like I do the recipes that I can go online, but like I think it'd be a great gift because I think Chris had a very good point. You know, you have strict carnivore and you have some people it's kind of hard. Yeah, I had no problem doing the strict carnivore, but I also like doing the recipes. But as I go, I'm getting to where I just want to I'm more lazy, I do something simple. If I want to do tacos, I have the egg life wraps in my fridge and I just do some taco meat, or I'll do pork rind nachos, stuff like that. I just want to I'm very simple anymore. I did those, recipes, but also the thing is the recipes, if it helps a person be more sustainable on carnivore, just like Chris, or ketovore or keto, that's a great tool, because eventually they'll get to strict carnivore. But I feel that those recipes is a great tool. And, it's just like weight loss surgery, like Kip, or carnivore Kip, used to be carnivore Kip. He went through the weight loss surgery, and it's just a tool. I'm just hoping that he has the mindset and get that mindset to get back in focus, because he wants to be here for his family. His why is to be here for his family. And I'm hoping that he sticks to it, because, I'm hoping it's good, because it's just a tool. The biggest thing is your mind. You have to have that mindset. You have to change your mind. I was eating once this way and I can't eat this way no more. I have to change it, which way it is. If it's paleo, carnivore, ketovore, keto, even if you're whole food, something that you're sustainable for, that you can stay away from the sugars, the grains, the starches, the sugary drinks, and all that stuff. You got to do what's work, but it's the mindset you have to change. But yes, that was a great live. I loved it last night. Great.
Kelly, can I just
sorry, go ahead, George.
Can I just ask questions? Did I hear you say you're from Madison, Missouri?
I'm not from Madison, Missouri. I'm from Higbee, Missouri, but I'm only 20 some odd miles from a Madison, Missouri.
Okay, no, it's just the second time I've heard Madison today, because we are represented in Madison, Wisconsin as well by the great Manoa. Manoa.
Minowa, because I had to ask the question with Minowa, and I'm thinking, Minowa, Madison. She said she's from Madison. I'm like, I had to ask Minowa. I said, are you from, is it Madison, Wisconsin, or a different Madison? Because she said Madison, Wisconsin. I said, because if she was from Madison, Missouri, I was going to go introduce myself to Minowa and say, hey, we're close by. But no, she's from Madison, Wisconsin. Yeah. So
I'm very proud of myself. And I've got 6 friends in Wisconsin. I've got Jerry, I believe you're fairly near Eau Claire.
Yes, sir.
We have Amanda in Merrill, I believe. We've got Manoa in Madison. We have I was going to say Ken and Jerry, but I mean Jen and Kerry in Montello. And there is also Ellen, Scooby the dog. Not quite sure where she is. So I can lay claim to 6 friends in Wisconsin. So I'm quite proud of that fact. In fact, so here is Ellen.
You got competition here. Milton's on. Milton just sold the world.
He's a good Milton. My neighbor had called me. My neighbor's washing machine broke down, so I had to fix it.
Oh no! Was it a Maytag, Rick?
No, it's a Whirlpool. The shift sensor is going bad, so I put a piece of paper in it and we ordered a new one. Milton.
And Jiffy said, Kelly said it, not me. Putty.
Speaking of Ellen there, she's in the chat right now, George.
It was one of those magic moments when I just said, oh, Scooby the dog's from Wisconsin too, and she appeared.
And we always do that with you, George. Whenever we say George, poof, you appear.
Yeah.
Yeah, there she is right here. She said, congratulations, Kelly. Here's to a bright future ahead. Absolutely. Hey, Rick, I was telling him about last week when I was telling you about I had a Rick moment coming home, and I was taking the back way in from home, and I saw these little herd of Muscovy ducks, and all the thing I said, "Ooh, duckies, yo!" Oh, a Rick moment.
There we go. I finally been able to give Rick his fly pass from the death duck. I actually bought this death duck because Rick was coming on Carnival Sunday School. So this duck was bought in honor of Rick.
I remember. I'm the biggest quack around here.
You're one of the smartest quacks around here too, because in America, because you decided to change your eating way just to get out of this world, and you come to find out that you became a well-oiled machine.
I don't know. It doesn't seem to have hurt me, does it?
You know, you're 10 years older than me, and you don't look like a day over 35. I noticed that after I shaved this morning, I was looking in the mirror. I'm like, holy cow, you know, I look a little younger. I know you shave, you look a little bit younger, but I'm like, holy cow, I'm starting to see lines in my cheeks, not wrinkle lines, but, you know, forms of the lines of the muscles and stuff. And it's like, wow. And then I got on the scale this morning and I said 273.1. And I was just 2 months ago, I was 289 because I gained almost 20 pounds back. And I'm only a couple, 3 pounds from where I plateaued back, or when the scale stalled, the weights, you know, the number stalled on the scale. And so I have a kilt. That's why I haven't bought a no slow shirt yet, is because I don't want to buy one and if knowing that I'm going to have to buy another one again. So I have a kilt shirt that I want that's it's in front of my bed on a chest that I am, one of these days I'm going to see where it is, because that's my next size. I'm go from 2X to XL. And pretty much this is where I was in high school, 10th, 11th grade in high school is where my weight's at. And I know at one time, even though I was one of the biggest ones in my class, even in 7th and 8th grade, I know that my waist could, you know, one time was 34, 36 waist. And I was close to 6 foot tall back then. So I know that pretty close to, if I can get to 220 with a 36-inch waist, I'll take it.
Hey, yeah. Kelly, Angie's Z74 is asking, do you have a beagle? That's my older dog. He's a beagle.
I told him, I see it right here. I call him my goofy hound dog. It's actually my daughter. It's China's dog. And her mom 4 years ago asked if, you know, if China can have the dog. And I said, sure, why not? He was a pretty puppy. And China, they told me that he's part beagle, part blue heeler. If you look, he looks like, you know, he's got the colors of a beagle. He has the smell of the beagle, but he's all blue heeler the rest of the way. You know, poor dog can't even howl. You get him to howl, he goes rawr, 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 instead of howling like a beagle. So he's just, I call him my goofy hound dog, but he's a good dog. He's full rotten. But my next goal is to get him off of the highest quality kibble that I get him when I can be able to afford it better in the future. And he's going to go carnivore. I'm going to get him off of that. He's not on like dog chow or the cheap kibble. He's on the most highest quality kibble, even though that's still not great, but it's better than dog chow with all the grains and junk. But he's going to eventually, he's going to get to eat some pork. I may start cleaning out some of the freezer. He may eat some chicken, some pork, some beef. He's going to have some of that, some eggs.
One thing you'll notice when you stop feeding them the corporate chows and things, their stool is going to be considerably less. They eat less of the garbage and the filler, eat more filler, poop more, eat less, they keep less like we do in our bodies, and they poop less.
Yeah, and with what I get, he, you know, if I remember one time I end up feeding him, and I can tell his stools were bad. I got him back on this stuff, or I got him on this stuff. Yeah, it's not going to be. It's more than what the carnivore, straight carnivore, like he should be on. But I noticed that he has less stools because there's no grains. Now it's got the freeze dried plant like pumpkin, sweet potato, all that. But at least there's no grains. But he's gonna get eventually, when I can get to a point, he's gonna get that. He wanted some of that usobuco that I had today, but I'm sorry, dude. I was gonna give him one of those bones to chew, but I'm like, it's got garlic in it. You can't have garlic.
George, is your dog or is your cat, George, a carnivore as well?
No, but I'm about to tell a story about beagles. 25 years ago, I used to work as a volunteer cattleman for a pack of hunting beagles. Because you've probably heard of the English hunting that we have over here. Most people know about fox hunting, but we actually use beagles to hunt hares, or what you probably call jackrabbits. And we used to feed our beagle pack on the day-old carcasses of bull calves, dairy bull calves, because the dairy bull calves are surplus to need, so they used to be euthanized, shot basically at the age at 1 day old. And we used to gut and skin them, and then we actually used to feed we used to feed them the whole carcass. I remember dragging it on meat hooks to the kennels, and our beagles used to eat purely raw meat. That was all they were fed on. Day old dairy bulls, the carcasses of day old dairy bulls, because it's a harsh reality that the dairy bulls do not have any value at all. So we used to do a job of go around picking them up, and then we used to dispose of them via our beagle pack. But those hounds are absolutely relentless on carnivore. Hares or jackrabbits are much faster than them, and they can get away from them. But the beagles get their heads down. They hunt by scent, and they wear down the jackrabbit. Not all the time. They're quite often. It was we weren't. It was no guarantee that you were going to catch it, but if the scent was good, if the ground was a bit damp, they could just relentlessly wear down the jackrabbit, and eventually they would catch it, kill it, and eat it. And so again, it was they were all pure carnivore, and they could run 30 miles of an afternoon and still be pretty much going come the end of the afternoon. So it was It was quite a sign.
Terry Girl has a question for you, George. How old did they live till your beagles?
Yeah, hunting beagles probably about 9 years of age. We couldn't rehome them because they weren't pets. So by the time they used to let us know when they were ready to go, the back ends used to go, and they got a lot slower. They got miserable because they couldn't keep up with the rest of the pack. They got a bit grey around the muzzle, a bit like some of us. So it was a kindness. It was a question of take them away to a quiet corner, give them a treat of some description, and while they were busy with that, put it in the back of the head, and that was and then they would end up in the furnace in the rendering, the same as the bones from the dairy calves. Hunting life is a very brutal game, and I'm afraid that our vegan friends don't like to admit that, do they? Very much, and I'm afraid of quite a lot of us people. We don't, not everybody likes to actually think about where their meat, where it's sourced from. I know an awful lot of people who. Yeah, I know an awful lot of people who find it very difficult to associate the packaged meat that you buy in Walmart, for example, with the little calf that's running around the field. And but life is harsh. We are apex predators, and that's the way it is.
The duck guillotine is very effective.
Yeah. Yeah, Sharon said her beagles live to 17. I'm sure that if you have a show beagle or a pet beagle, that's nothing unusual. But with these hunting beagles, they get tired and they get old. They can't keep up, and then they get really miserable because they can't keep up. So it's their heads go down, their tails go down. They just become unhappy, and the mercy, because you can't rehome them because they wouldn't be happy because they're not out hunting. So they're not pets. So the kindest thing to do is to simply end it for them in the most humane way possible.
Spanky, what about Winston? What kind of dog is he, and what do you feed him?
He's a French bulldog. He eats. We make ground turkey and ground chicken, and he doesn't like meat like beef. I don't know why, but he doesn't like fish. Good.
Well,
dog.
you don't either, Spanky. So
Yeah, works out perfect. And I'd never ever feed him a sardine.
And how about you, Rick?
Milton eats everything that I eat. In fact, when I'm eating, he grabs a piece of it. He'll get his paws into everything. I have to keep pushing him away because he always wants to sample what I have.
Wow, look at that majestic horse. Wow.
This was me in my 20s. This was before I had that surgery, before I had that episode. This was like probably 2003. This was my horse. I used to go horseback riding. This was actually in the southern Ozarks of Missouri where I went on vacation. And of course, this was back when I wasn't a Christian. I smoked cigarettes. I probably was like in my 290s because I was about a 40, 42 waist. And if you look, you can tell that I was eating a lot of duck food. I saw that picture. I'm like, hey, I'm going to show this. But this was in my 20s. This was 22 years ago. So,
there, Kelly.
Yeah, but I feel, even though I'll say I feel like I'm 48 going on 28, walk like Grandpa McCoy right now. So I saw that picture. I was like, I know I want to show that because it's like, that's what I used to do. I used to horseback. That's what my dad grew up where he had horses, and do I miss having the horses? Absolutely. But I don't miss the cost because it costs so much these days. But also, I'm at that where now I'll get this hip recovered. I want to adventure. I want to be more active. I want to see other parts of the country. I want to see, hiking and stuff. So that's why I want to start doing that next year. Is take, the weekends, take some weekends or a Saturday, do this, a weekend to do that. And then when I'm on call, then I'll be low key something to share and go from there. There's Rick. And he still hasn't changed.
No, he hasn't.
That hair's the same.
Still the same color hair.
That was me at 19.
Wow, you look, you don't look much older than that.
I'm basically the same build, I look the same. I'm a terrible example because I don't change. I think I was 32 in this one.
Yeah, you look just about the same age there as you are now. Same physique and everything.
Yep, I haven't changed. That's why I'm a bad example because people, they have all these before and after. Look at what happened to me. And I get picture after picture. I look the same.
When's your high school reunion?
40-year reunion is this year.
Uh-oh.
But I haven't been invited.
Enough, I've gone a bit of a journey, and I've gone from my 18-year-old birthday weight up to a huge weight above that. But sitting here, I'm now back at my 18-year-old birthday weight. So I've actually gone on an incredible journey, but ended up back at the start. So. Yeah, I'm the same weight as I was when I was 18, Rick. But unlike you, I've been very, very different in the past.
This is from 87, and you can see with my first car. And then look at my cat. It looked like you know who.
Milton.
My first cat was a black cat, just like Milton.
I had a black cat. His name was Midnight. I really liked him. He was a great cat.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I still had him because he was a cuddly cat.
Milton
He
lived.
wasn't
I
a
mean,
Milton Menace, but he was cuddly. That's all he wanted to do was just lay on my lap.
my first cat lived 18 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, my sister had a cat that lived 24.
Oh, wow.
In the end, her kidneys gave way. But yeah, but she was 24 years of age, and I think we have one that lived over 20 as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, so it's yeah, it's they were, I think, they're fed healthier than what they are nowadays because we didn't have that Purina rubbish back in those days.
I always had the
Let's
same
see.
cars too, always Chargers.
Here you go. Here you go, Rick. Let's see what this come up. Oh, nope, that's not it. Where's my there? There it is. This truck right here was my dad's last new truck he bought in 1999. This is one after he passed away because I wish I could afford it at the time. I would have, if I had the cash, I would have gave it to my mom and bought the truck. But right after he passed away, this truck, I know where it is. It's just down the road from me, and they needed this truck, but they only had 69,000 miles on it. At this time, it was 20 years old, and it was a green buff. A 7.3 power stroke. It was a good truck. I had a red truck just similar to this, and I'm like, it was a good truck. These are the trucks, even though it's got the electron, it was more sophisticated. Not all mechanics got a computer, but this truck here, I'd rather drive this truck than a brand new 2026 power stroke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you mean. I got a power stroke in my van.
No comment.
But that's one thing I love. That's one thing about it is like, even though my car's a 2015, I will drive it until once it's paid off. I'll drive it until the wheels fall off of it because it's a Subaru and they're like one step below Toyota. And just like my truck, it's got 224,000 miles on it. I got it out today. I wanted to make sure. I was like, I need to get it out. It's been a week. I'll see if the battery died, if I have a draw somewhere. Nope, everything was good. I must have had like a sensor or something, or a relay for the delay for the headlights, the exiting lights off the truck, because it's one of those. Back in the day, it was like a Denali of Chevrolet. It was an LTZ, and it had the fully loaded heated seats and all that. But I think I could have possibly had a relay that stuck that left the lights stayed on and just ran the battery completely dead. I just shut that sucker off. I just went into the deal, shut it off, and had no trouble since. But it was good to get that truck out. But it feels good because I don't have to have a truck payment, and the car payment is low. But once the car is paid off, I'm going to drive it until I can't drive it no more. If it costs me more to fix, then I'll get rid of it. But other than that, I'm going to drive it until I'll see how many miles I got on it. Because with these vehicles today, I don't. The payments, it's ridiculous. I'm not paying $80,000 to $100,000 for a brand new truck.
I've never had a car payment.
A brand new Denali is going for $99,000 right now.
I never paid more than $1,000 for a vehicle.
Crazy.
I know.
Yeah, and I know, like they said, that new Jeep Grand Wagoneer, 100 and some odd thousand. Ford and General Motors both have trucks that's over $100,000. It's like, oh, well, let's extend this. I'm like, why do you want to have $1,000 car payment and end up you can't afford it? It's like, no more. Like, I remember back in the 90s when stuff was starting to get high, but like, you could afford stuff better. But now they just made it so ridiculous. And now on top of this, if you have starting in 2027, you could possibly, your vehicle be driving it along, and all of a sudden you may have a minor mishap and it shuts you down right in the middle of the interstate. I think that's the worst thing they could do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, $1,200 vehicle payments is ludicrous.
Yeah, I won't do it. I will keep what I have going until I can't keep it going anymore.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Doesn't seem that long ago. It was $385 for rent for a month, and then your car payment was $125 a month, and it was like it's wages have not kept up with the prices.
No, the inflation gone higher because I remember starting when I got into apartment maintenance in 2008. Even though I wasn't working with the current company, apartment rent in for a one bedroom was only like 280 something in Columbia, Missouri. When I went through Mills and I got to my current property where I work at as a supervisor, they raised the rent just up because the value. I guess they went by value. And so rent was still a one bedroom at that time, $330 a month, one bedroom. Now it's almost $1,000 a month.
That's
Mhm.
crazy.
And sadly is my house payment is cheaper and I'm on a variable fix, which that's the next thing I got to work on. I'm waiting for the interest rate to get to a little bit more, and then I'm going to refinance and get this into a 15-year fix and get this thing paid off in 15 years, and instead of get cut 5 years short off of it and get it paid off in 15. And if I can keep the same, if it's $700-800 a month, at least it's fixed. I don't have to worry about the variable. Even if I was on the variable and the interest rates go up, they can't charge me no more than 10. But still, that's $900 a month. Still cheaper. And I have a 4-bedroom, 2,200 square foot. Even though it's a mobile home, it's still $900 a month, and it's mine. I'm invested into it, so I pay into it. But it's like some people pay over $2,000 a month in rent. It's just ridiculous. I don't know how you can afford it. And then they go and they buy brand new vehicles. How can you afford that?
You should see what the rent is here in Miami.
Oh, yeah, I can only imagine because St. Louis is higher than Columbia, and I can only imagine Miami's even 3 times.
This place is so full of scammers and money launderers. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then sadly is what's just I noticed, and I was watching some YouTube videos where they're trying to take out all the mobile home parks in Miami to build high rises. And I'm like, this is crazy.
They got rid of all of them. They just got rid of the one near me.
That's just crazy, and then you expect people to go into these high rises. And the thing is, it's like they're going to sit vacant because people can't afford it. And it's like, why don't we do something if we're tearing all this stuff down because we're doing delivery and stuff like that? Why don't we convert all this stuff from a concrete jungle back into some pasture land and start raising some animals?
They can't get debt based on that. All that money comes from all the crap they build, even if nobody buys it.
I used to always tell clients when they make their mortgage payment every month, make an extra mortgage payment of principal only and put that in the bottom memo. You will take your 30-year mortgage to a 15 faster than you can imagine just by paying extra on the principal on a monthly basis. Or double up your payments too. There's no shame in that game.
That's what I'm doing is I'm trying to get what little debt that I had to have this year because all of a sudden, I'm waiting for this surgery. I wasn't going to get the car. I was waiting for Columbia Orthopedic Group to call me because I want to get this hip surgery out of the way. Then the truck, when the truck is 17 years old and all the original equipment is at the end of its age, what do? Fuel pump goes out. I mean, I could have fixed it myself. It's not hard. I've changed out a fuel pump, but I'm not going to try to drop a gas tank or pull my bed. I was like, I'll just have them do it. I had them do it because they have, they can put the lift on and then, I can do it. But then the water heater went out. So it's like when it rains, it pours. And then I'm like, my mom needs her vehicle back. So that's why I got the car. But actually in the long run, I think the car was worth it because I was going to go buy one in my, afford in my means. I'm not paying no more than $10,000 for a vehicle. If I'm going to have to make payments, and I know what my payment range is in. That's what I did. I went for a Ford Explorer and I came home with a Subaru, within the same price. I'm like, that'll work. $286 for car payment. I'm like, I'll do that. But
And
that's
what
why I
about
had
your
that.
daughters, Kelly? What about Cheyenne? Is she due to be driving soon?
She's going to work on getting her permit, and hopefully next year, once I get recovered, and when I get recovered, I'm back to work. I'm going to find her a cheap. She wants a truck, so I found some cheap trucks that we'll go when we're ready to go look at on Marketplace and go from there. Because she wants a truck. Okay, you want a truck? You have a truck, but you're not going to get your choice of what it is, and And I'm not going to, I thought about, well, maybe what I'll do is I'll just get me another truck, but it's like, nope, I'm not going to have another car payment. I'll pay cash and get her something cheaper, where it's just a start out vehicle for her. And then later on, when she wants to build her credit or whatever she needs to do, find something a little bit better later on. But right now, it's like, we'll get what you have. I had a 77 Chevy when I was 16 years old. That was my first vehicle. So, that's where I'm standing, because my truck is paid for. I'm fixing to put a little bit of money into it because some of the mechanicals, like the motor mounts, need to be replaced. I know the other brake. Before I have my surgery, I'm going to replace the other driver or the passenger brake rotor, caliper, the brake pads. And if the brake rotor and the caliper is good, I'm just going to go ahead and replace the pads. So that way it's ready, because it gets inspected this year. And, when the U joints go bad, I'll replace that, just stuff like that. Because it's like, time I get done, this will be almost a brand new truck, except for the engine and transmission. And if you keep maintenance on it, do your service like you should, they last a long time.
George, do you and Lainey have an automobile?
We do. We just recently updated it. It's a Perodua, which is a little-known Korean brand. It kind of looks like a knockoff of a Mini Cooper, and it's 13 years old, but it's only got 38,000 miles on the clock, and we paid about 3,700 English pounds, maybe about $5,000 for it, and we think we got a good deal, really. In fact, I gave Jen and Kerry a lift in it last Sunday, and they were asking about it. And when I told her how much I paid for it, Jen said, "I want one. I want to come and buy it." She was very impressed. So yeah, we're very happy with that. And we've decided that I'm going to buy a van this week as well, an old van, because I work in construction, and it's actually too nice a car for me to take on construction sites. So we're going to buy a sort of disposable old van. But like Kelly, we ourselves, when we buy a car, we are not going to be selling it on. We're going to run it until we can't get any more out of it, and then we either part exchange or we scrap it. So I'll just be looking for an old runaround van sometime this week for about £1,000 or $1,200, $1,300, something like that. That would do me.
You know what that's like.
Amy's got a question for you, Jerry. We have 4 years left on our mortgage. If I make double payments every month, will it be paid off less than 2 years? If you can do it and manage to swing your, make sure all your bills are paid and you can be able to enjoy your life, do it. And that way, in 2 years, you get it done. Because that's what I want to do, is I want to go, because I can get a better interest rate, 15-year fix, and the payments wouldn't be that much more or about the same. Because not only that, I also pay escrow. I pay my property tax and my insurance through that escrow. And so, like, mine is normally right now 7.14 because the interest rate went down. But once I get to that fix, I don't have to worry about, is the next year my next yearly payment's going to be higher, or I'm going to get lucky, it could be lower.
Yep. I would tell Amy too, my little trick is always pay on the principal. Always pay the principal. Extra on the principal is better than making the double payments.
There you go, Amy. Make sure you pay on your principal. That'd be the best thing. Pay on your principal. You get that principal down, and then that's the less interest you have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
That's why my dad always paid a little bit extra and stuff. That's the reason why right now, because what got me to go ahead and get this hip surgery done was I consolidated what little debt I had. I had this opportunity. It was approved through Discover. And it was very low payments. And I'm like, paid my truck off, paid off the credit cards, even though the one I had to reuse, but it's about paid off. It's like, I'll have it paid off next month. It'll be done. And then I just took my truck payment and I took that and paid it on that Discover. So like after it comes a year, I'll have 1 year free. So I have 1 year less off of my final year. So the last final one. So if I pay $405, and then when I get to a certain point, like next year, I'm just going to like get double down what I can to get the medical bill I owe paid off. And then I'm just going to try to get this car paid off. I'm going to kind of do I don't follow Dave Ramsey 100% because some of the things I don't see eye to eye, but there's one thing that I do like that he does. It's called the snowball effect. Take your smallest one, get it paid off, take that, put it on the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Because he's like, go to eat like rice and beans and rice. I'm like, no, you're not going to get me to eat that stuff. But some of the things they say, like for me, he said, if I went on there and he says, well, what's your wage? You need a higher job. Or I'm going to get a job at what I'm going to do at this pay. I'm like, no, I'm here for advice, but that's what he said. But like some of the things, if you have a high dollar car payment, get rid of that sucker, get you something that you can drive that gets to point A to point B and go from there. Like that's the way I have it. I got a cheaper car, even though it's paid, but I can afford it. I have the money while I'm off work. I have that money. I'm just going to take the 4 payments that are at least 4 payments ahead, and I'm just going to give it to the bank. Be done. That way I'm good until I get back to work. Once I get back to work, because I'll probably get back to work, I'm estimated, I don't know totally what the doctor will say, but, I told my HR, I said, I don't know when they really recover. I imagine it'll be either December or January. But I said, if I need longer, I'll let her know. But it all depends on how I recover. But I figure it'll be a pretty good recovery because of the Carnivore.
Yeah, talking about cars, does anybody see Kerry's take on driving in England? Does anybody see that video? No, okay, yeah, he had a frightening time because I've realised now that you guys don't have a single track lane which has 2-way traffic, and Kerry discovered that for the first ever time, and I've got to actually give him a lesson on how to use them because we have what they call passing places. And we actually do stop and let other people through. Kerry didn't realise that, so he was squeezing through, and he found that absolutely terrifying. And go watch it. It's only a 16-minute video, but it's absolutely hilarious. And poor old Jen was having conniptions in the passenger seat. So I actually WhatsApped Kerry today and said, next time you come, my friend, I will teach you about the etiquette of using passing spaces in England. So it never occurred to me that would be an issue, but it definitely was. He had a lovely vehicle actually. He had a rental, an Audi SUV rental, but it was a bit kind of big for the small little lanes that we have around here. And I don't think he enjoyed the driving experience over here, but I will sort him out next time he comes, and I'll give him a lesson in etiquette of using small lanes.
Yeah, that's one of my goals. If I can develop for it or if I'm willing to do it, I'm eventually going to come across the pond. I'm going to come across to visit England because I do have some of my ancestral came from Scotland, Wales, England, on my mom's side. And then in the Netherlands, which used to be Holland, Dutch, the Netherlands, that's where my last name originated. De Wees was originated. It's in Dutch. It's Dutch. It's Wees means orphan, W-E-E-S, and they added the E on it. And then I guess somewhere the D-E, which is or French is D, the orphan, de Wees. And that's how our name had originated. But like on my grandfather's side, and both of my grandmother's side and my mom's side of the family, both came. My grandfather's in German, English, Scottish. My grandmother was Wales, and then this is where I have the native in me. She was quarter native, so I have native runs in my family, Native American. But yeah, I want to go over there and vacation over in England so I can go visit my good friend George.
Well, everybody's starting to know where to find us now in Bridgewater in Somerset. We're 2.5 hours from London Heathrow Airport. We have the most fabulous, fairly inexpensive hotel, which is carnivore friendly, the Tudor. Approved by both Kilts and Kerry. They both eat in there. We hosted dinners there for them. So yeah, I always say this: anytime anybody wants to come over, please let me know. Come over, and if I can take some time off, I will. If not, I can arrange the itinerary for you. We've got castles, we've got abbeys, we've got caves, we've got stately homes, we have cathedrals, we have Stonehenge, we have the Mayflower Steps down in Plymouth, where the Mayflower sailed from. We have the Fleet Air Museum, which is a naval aviation museum just down the road. We have various museums. So yeah, we've got a lot down here in Somerset. But the most important of all, we have the best carnival restaurant in the world, which is the Tudor restaurant here in Bridgewater.
Closest thing we have is a Texas Roadhouse. There is a Brazilian steakhouse, but I will not go there. I want to try it, but I will not go there because of the location it's at. Well, and that too, the price. I can get my own cut steak cheaper at Texas Roadhouse, but it is downtown Columbia, right next to the University of Missouri campus.
Yeah,
probably right now is the best time to go. But here in another month, you don't even want to be down in that area when school starts. It is a mess.
Yeah, well, I've given the Tudor restaurant lessons in carnivore. They don't even try and push any bread or sides or any plants on you at all now. They swapped out the seed oils for beef tallow. They swapped out the table salt, which contains ferrocyanide, for Himalayan rock salt. They provide slabs of butter on the table now for carnivores. They're totally 100% carnivore friendly, and they're very proud of that fact. And they're very proud of the fact that they've hosted both Robert Kilts and Kerry Mann, and both of them have given huge approvals to it. So yeah, we've got an approval rating, and also Angela Lero, who's quite famous in our world. Coach Angela Mullins has eaten there as well.
That's awesome. I wish we can get more. I wish we can get more like that here. Luckily Texas Roadhouse is one where you can go and say, there's a secret menu you can eat. You can say, please don't cook my steak on the flat grill. Put it on the fire grill, and don't salt it, don't season it. I will bring, because I bring my own Malden sea salt. I have a little glass jar I take with me to work every day, and I will fill that up with Malden sea salt. I have the Salter salt. I also use Redmond's. I also have Himalayan salt, so it doesn't bother me to use whatever. I'm not going to go because of this, but my favorite is the Malden flaky sea salt, and I carry that with me everywhere I go, because even when I travel to Avon, Indiana, to Dustin's Keto Simples meetup, I'll have that with me.
Yeah, exactly. The Tudor, they provide the pink Himalayan salt, but they don't. Andrew wouldn't object if you were to bring your own. For example, Louise Belling, because she's Southern African, uses Kalahari desert salt. Plenty of other people like to use Celtic sea salt, but they were quite horrified when I explained to them that in the standard table salt, the anti-caking agent is ferrocyanide, and they just didn't know that. And so they learned a bit from me. They still use it for their normal customers, but when we announce that we are coming as carnivores, they make sure it's beef tallow only. They make sure there is no sides or any plants on the plate, and they make sure that the salt is a quality pink Himalayan salt. So yeah, Andrew Driver, the chef, is totally on board with it. He's really proud of the menu that he put together for Kerry, and so am I actually. And it's just an amazing place, and it's it dates back to the 15th century. So it was 16th century. So it was actually built in the 1500s. It's been standing since the Tudor times. So Henry Tudor, Henry VIII's time, really, I suppose. And it's like a maze, a warren. It's it's very intricate inside. 4-poster beds. It's very charismatic, very historical. Yeah, I'm trying to sell it to you guys. Come on over and visit. We'll have some fun. Juliet and Doug are coming over next May, at the beginning of May.
I'm amazed at your beef prices, George, in comparison to Spanky. Spanky, how much is your ribs going for? Your rib steaks going for this week?
The ribeyes?
Ribeyes, yes.
They go for around 38 to 39 a pound.
See, that's what I said on my live too, George. And how much are yours going for, George?
About 12 English pounds a pound, so maybe about 16, 17 bucks a pound.
So that would be about 26, 27 Canadian. Because it's usually 2.3.
Yeah, another thing which Kerry did say on his feedback video from the UK was that the prices compare fairly well with the US of A. But one thing he did a bit of research on is, and I didn't know this, and that's since 1989 we haven't had added hormones in our beef. So Kerry actually gives the edge to the British beef because of the law about the hormones that were passed in 1989. I didn't know that about the US of A, to be honest with you. In fact, Kerry did quite a bit of research when he was over here about the comparisons between the UK and and one thing I'm afraid you're not going to like this, Jerry, being no, do you actually come from Wisconsin?
I have all my life. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as Jen says, we're the cheeseheads, but Jen has handed us the crown of the king of cheeses over here.
I've heard her say that. Yes.
Our cheddar cheese is apparently blown yours out of the water. So yeah, score one for Somerset against Wisconsin because we are the cheese county in Somerset because we have cheddar. We have the village of cheddar in the here, and that's the home of cheddar cheese. So yeah, we're claiming that one over Wisconsin. Sorry, Jerry.
Yeah, that's okay. Fabulous.
Although there's a battle here in the States between California and Wisconsin, who has the cheese, who's the king of cheese. But it's always got to be Wisconsin because I always hear about Wisconsin. But then you see commercials with California, like, what?
Yeah, that's
California, Wisconsin should have that now. But now England says we take it.
To be fair, though, another cheese that Jen particularly liked was halloumi, which is a grilling cheese, and that actually comes from Cyprus, originates from Cyprus. And the Tudor Hotel is run by a Cypriot family, so they specialise in halloumi there. So Jen loved the halloumi and she loved the cheddar. So one to Cyprus, one to Somerset, put it that way.
Excellent. I know that Aldi it's something called bread cheese. It doesn't have bread, but it's cheese.
Yes, Kerry did say that halloumi is your equivalent is bread cheese.
Right, that's where I was going.
It's not as good about me, so yeah.
And then
it's quite funny because when Jen and Kerry moved on, I got 2 photographs from Kerry to show how he was doing. One was them at Stonehenge, which is obviously quite good, and the other one was just him in a supermarket holding up a packet of halloumi, very proudly to actually say that he found it, because obviously they were staying in Airbnbs, self-catering, so they were looking forward to having some halloumi that night when they got there. So yeah, they had a very good time over here. I was able to spend 2 full days with them, and they've gone away very, very happy. They saw some good stuff over here, and they made some great friends as well. So yeah, we look forward to hosting them again. We look forward to hosting any other of you guys who wish to come over and spend some time with us. And as you know, it's not me saying, "Oh, you lot come over here and spend your money," because as you know, I went to Wyoming last year and I'm going to Michigan this year, so I'm setting the example in the other direction. Next year, I'm going to have to take a year off because of obviously it costs us rather a lot of money. But of course, next year we have Juliet and Doug coming over, so we're hosting, not visiting next year.
We got a question here from Miss Laugh-A-Lot. Says, what are your thoughts on ceramic cookware with enamel on the inside of the pot, the part that touches your meat? Well, I don't cook with. The only time I have a ceramic coated pan was when I cook eggs. That's it, or ground butter. I have cast iron, straight cast iron, where I season it myself. Matter of fact, I got a brand new skillet that I'm going to sand down and re-season it, because Lodge they do a pre-season and it's rough. I mean, it's very rough, and I'm going to try to slick it down and get it smooth, and then I'm going to re-season it again, and I'll have a pan. But yeah, I use straight cast iron. I season my own pans. Most of the pans were free. It cost me, or I bought at a garage sale that bought it for $1 and not realize that I had a 1960 Ragnarware pan when I cleaned it. I'm like, whoa, this looks like it's old. And I looked at it. It was it's between 1940 to 1959.
Ooh.
And I got some friends, good friends of the family. I know their mom and dad for years. They passed away, but they used to ride that. They don't ride anymore, but they do they go to flea markets and a lot of festivals and stuff. And they got into where they sell cast iron, and he's got a big cast iron collection. And they also sell, they sell at more reasonable price, and you can go to a flea market to get it. Like the same pan, I can get an old Griswold from them way cheaper than I can to buy a Griswold that needs a lot of work, or if it's cracked down at a flea market in Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
And then PT Doc said, happy Carniversary. Well, welcome to the channel. I remember seeing y'all hop in on Bob's channel and Keto Cookout. So welcome this way. We're glad you're here. And then, of course, Sharon said, spanking. No, I don't know what she's saying spanking no for.
Canada has awesome cheese.
There's an awful lot of girls say that, I think, aren't they, Spanky?
Yeah, but this is always work the percentages. There's always the ones
that's true. Yeah, there's always somebody's. There's always 10% going to say yes. It's you're absolutely right. That's how I lived my life in my 20s.
And then Aaron, the Carnivores guy. Aaron's a great guy. I got to meet him through Larry Berquist, Carnivore Quest Live. Got to meet him. Very great guy. I'm glad to hear. He says, I love my cast iron. Cast iron's way to go. I have one of my grandmother's cast iron skillets that it's in the house. It's kind of pitted, but I cleaned it up, re-seasoned. It's going to be more of a decor, but it's in my house, and I saved it from being destroyed. And then I found another old cast iron skillet that I'm like, all right, I'll just do this. But it was cracked. I'm like, it's a decor in my shop. It's hanging in my shop as a decor. So it's like, come on now. Now, if anything that's foreign cast iron, like China cast iron, I just throw it away because that's just recycled engines. But if I can find good American-made cast iron, I don't care if it's old or, the newer one, I'll just get that. But a lot of your older cast iron's way better. Oh, here it is. Canada has awesome cheese. Armstrong made out of British Columbia. I almost said before Christ. That's some old cheese.
That's definitely aged well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Cranky Carnivore Color says, while large-scale commercial cheese manufacturers in Canada heavily rely on fermentation, produce enzymes, artisanal and traditional cheesemakers continue to use animal-derived rennet. Interesting. Decor, no cast iron is for carnivore cook. No cast iron is for carnivore cooking. Well, I don't want to use this cast iron because it is decor. Because if not, it will not be usable. But the rest of my cast iron is usable. It is for cooking, and I will take it with me when I go camping because it's what I cook with. Put some nice little heavy amount of tallow in there. Your eggs will not stick. You'll be good. That's the trick with cast iron cooking with eggs. Plus, you get a nice crispy white with a good runny egg yolk.
Mm-hmm. Delish.
Now you're making me hungry.
Well, I'm good. I had those beef shanks. I got full. I still have a little bit that I will take with me tomorrow, and I'll have with some burger patties to finish up my uso buco. That was good, and it was so tender it fell off the bone. And then I got to heat up. I have to heat up the slow cooker back up to get that all that good juices left over from the broth. I'm gonna get that in a jar, and so I can save that because I'm not getting rid of that. That is mallow. That is marrow rich, tallow rich, whatever it is. It is collagen. I'm not letting that go.
It will be like Jell-O when you take it out, just so you know, of the refrigerator tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's how my dog's bone broth is the same thing. It's doggy Jell-O, and then I have to warm it up, and then they love it. The dogs love it.
Yeah, it's going to go. Every bit of it tomorrow is going into my body for my meal of the day, regardless if it's here when I get home or at work.
What time did you eat today, George? It's almost 11 o'clock by you. What time was your last meal, George?
I had a quick steak in between yours, and I'm not one of these people that does OMAD T-mail. I just eat when I'm hungry. And I was a little bit hungry, so I had a small rump steak, which I ate raw, as you know. So there's no cooking involved apart from melting the butter, which I put over. Yeah, between finishing with you and then coming on with Kelly, I just had a quick 7 ounce rump steak. It was in a packet of 2, and I got the other one for the morning. So that's yeah. No, I don't have any strict rules at all about OMAD or fasting or anything. If I'm hungry, I eat. And I mostly eat raw ruminant nowadays, either lamb or beef. So that's it saves an awful lot of money on cooking, washing up. Saves a lot of time on cooking as well. A lot of effort. It's like sometimes you think, oh, can I be bothered cooking steak? Take it straight out of the fridge, whack it on a plate, cover it in a bit of melted butter and some decent salt, and away you go. And there's hardly any washing up as well. So it's just so much simpler. It really is. I know certain people out there who I won't name, really regard me as gross and everything else, but the simplicity, Occam's razor, it is so simple and it's so healthy as well. That I do eat blue steak when I go out because the waitresses don't really like taking orders for raw steak, but they will take an order for blue steak. But at home, I invariably eat. If I'm eating steak, I'll eat raw, and I just prefer it now. I've been doing it for 2 years and a month now, and everybody's telling me that I'm going to die. Even the carnivores are telling me I've got to have pathogens and that sort of thing. Actually, my health has improved again since going raw. So I'm sorry, but I won't countenance these people who tell me I'm going to kill myself with pathogens. So
now, how long does Kiltz keeps meat in his refrigerator for? Pardon me for saying this, of weeks or even months, doesn't he say that?
Yeah, so.
Dry age.
Yeah, it can age no problems at all. It's it's
right.
I dry brine, dried age chuck roast ribeye steak for 4 to 5 days, and it is just, it's tasty, very good, and because the longer you dry age a steak, it kind of gives it a kind of a nutty flavor, and it's supposed to be very, very good. And well, this is the way before refrigeration. How do we keep our meat, prepared in a cellar? You salted it down. You did a dry brine. You salted it and you preserved it. That's how you air dry. That's how you preserve the meat. We didn't have refrigeration. If you had a cellar, you kept it in a cool cellar, and you salted it down. That's how my grandfather and them, they cured a lot of hams in the cellar. That's where it went, dried, cured, and they were the best hams I ever ate.
I just use the sniff test and the sight test. If it's green and smelling bad, don't eat it. If it looks okay with no unpleasant smell to it, it's going to be fine. Used
to be my.
There is just such nonsense spoken about best before dates and that sort of thing nowadays, and use by dates. the sniff test and the sight test. If it's green, don't eat it.
Oh,
If it smells of carrion, don't eat it. Yeah. So that it's so simple. Keep it simple. Occam's razor. Keep it simple.
Keep it
There you go.
simple.
Kiss it. Keep it super simple. Aaron's got a compliment. He said, "Thank you for the kind words. I have met many great people through Larry." Yeah, he's a great guy. Well, and I will share the link. I have it pinned if anybody else wants to come on before we end it here soon, because it won't be long that we'll be, most of us will be hopping on prime time for Amy's live, and it will be an open panel tonight, I believe. If you're Amy, you're still on here, if that's correct. I think it is open panels, what I saw. So
Kelly, I'm going to take this opportunity to jump off, because I actually do have to get up and go to work in 6 hours time. So I want to be in bed by midnight. Because I've been in Carnivore, I do only need 5 hours sleep nowadays. But I did have a couple of hours sleep this afternoon, because I didn't realize how exhausted I had been over the last year until I stopped. And suddenly I haven't got much on the horizon apart from Kalamazoo. So my body said, go to sleep. So I did. And but I'm feeling a lot better for it now. Right, I'm going to say good night, y'all, and see you again very soon. Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye, George.
Thank you, George. Have a good rest. Hey, Aaron, how you doing?
I am doing good, sir. Congratulations.
Hey, Aaron.
Well, thank you.
I am grilling dinner right now.
For my Carniversary dinner, I had something new. It's called Uso Buco. And actually, I did the carnivore version, but in Italian, it's an Italian meat dish that you'd sear. They sear with vegetables and white wine and all that, but it was just a very simple. I don't know I think it was Dante Ferrigno did it, and I made a video of me doing this for the first time. I haven't recorded it. It'll be out this next week, and it's very simple. I took beef shanks, I seared them on both sides, put them in the crock pot. I salted them down, put them in the crock pot, cup of water in the slow cooker, and for about 6 or 7 hours, slow cook with some garlic. I used the Salter Ancestral blend, organ blend, garlic and onion powder, and it's good. I think he's looking at what Milton's doing.
Who are you poking at?
He thought Rick was asleep, but Rick's eyes. When I seen Rick's eyes glow, he was looking like that. He's looking to see what Milton's doing.
I got 2 cats.
You're muted, Rick.
I was going to say, Milton's in a box of stuff, scattering it all over the place. It's a menace.
So what are you cooking for supper? Uh-oh, we lost Aaron.
Oh. He's outside. It may be bad connection.
Yeah, I'll see if he'll come back.
How about you, Spanky? Are you done eating for the day?
Probably not. I had 3 big breasts earlier and some eggs, hard-boiled eggs. Chicken breasts, that is.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, well, yeah, you never
Duck
know.
breast.
Who knows what Spanky's talking about, right?
Well, I got to eat donuts tomorrow, apparently, according to my cardiologist.
We're dumping donuts here.
I'm getting a stress test done tomorrow because I had a really high THC score. So they're like, in between, bring something like a donut or cookies or like some chips. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just got off all my diabetic meds. You want me to eat a donut? I don't know. I'm gonna bring in bacon and butter and just see what they say when I have that as my snack.
There you go. It's like, oh.
I thought you were supposed to do donuts, not eat them.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I do donuts on the 0-turn rider. I don't eat them anymore. That's just disgusting. It's like, I used to eat donuts when I was on the standard diet, but it's like when you have someone says, oh, eat a cookie, you promote this, junk duck food. It's like, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't have room for that cheap duck food. I give it to the ducks. I can go out in the Bobcat and do donuts.
What are you doing, doggy? Man's best friend here while I'm cooking on the grill.
What we having for supper, Aaron?
I got some tuna we seared inside. It was just kind of like buying stuff that we had to get using. So there's some tuna, some burgers, and then there's some chicken. And then I grilled some asparagus. So it's a smorgasbord tonight. I'll eat the burgers and the tuna.
There you go. I saw you mention earlier on Dustin's. Are you going to see the Healing Humanity there in Toronto?
I am. It's about a 2-hour drive for me over the border. So I've never been to any type of event of any kind. I have a big social anxiety issue, just from like years of like, when I was a kid, like, being the chubby kid. So I never like was comfortable going into like new situations when I don't know anybody. So it's like kind of a big nerve-wracking thing to even go, to be honest. But it'll be my first event that I've ever gone to, and just kind of got to do it, pull off the Band-Aid.
There you go. You'll have a great time. Jerry said that is a great movie. I saw just the trailers of them here and there, but I'm going to try to email Carrie Mann or, look back. I want to try to get it here in Central Missouri because we have 2 of the theaters that Carrie Mann said, here's these addresses to reach out. So I'm going to try to see if we can get it here in Central Missouri because we got people in my area and, we need to see this. I would like, it'll eventually get on YouTube. It'll eventually get on a streaming service, but I know what they're, because if you can get it through theaters and you get these, sold out, it will get to Netflix or Tubi TV or Hulu, something like that. It'll get there. But I know what they're talking about because you say, hey, if you have it on YouTube, I'll watch it later and I'll never watch it. But if you'll say, hey, I'll take you. I want you. It's my treat. I'm going to take you to this documentary.
Yep. Exactly. I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good time.
Carrie, you get to meet Carrie. Carrie Mann is a great guy. I met him through his, 5-minute on one of his lives. And then I got to meet him exactly 1 year ago in Montello during the meetup. That's when I got to meet Jerry in person. We kind of, messaged back and forth a little bit somewhere, but then we got to meet in person and it was awesome. Cool. Dr. Kills, Dr. Nelson, Dr. Tony Hampton, Adam Lacey, Coach Lisa, she's like
Pickert.
Yeah, Lisa Pickert. I almost said Wiederman, but that's Dr. Wiederman. See who else was there? I got to meet Jen. I got to meet the Man Girls. Who else was there? I can't remember. Lynn Dvorsky. She's her channel's Midlife Nurse or Carnivore.
Bye, Spanky.
Bye, Spanky.
Bye.
And she has a channel, but I really got to know her husband when we had the dinner part. We sit there and we had a great conversation. She's part of the Healing Humanity, groups and stuff. They do the Healing Humanity lives every Thursday, Q&As on YouTube. She's part of that with Dr. Nelson, Gary Mann, and Barb, No Carb Barb, I think. So that was a great time, and now I'm looking forward to get to meet new people in a couple weeks in Indiana. Get to meet in person. Get to meet Amy. I'm looking forward to meeting our Irish friend, or as Russ said, the Irish I can't do it as good as Russ can do it, but I had to throw that little bit of humor in.
I lived in Indiana years ago.
The only time I was in Indy or through Indiana was I was driving home from when I got back from my vacation, because I took that detour to see the Ark Encounter. And I was on the outskirts. As a matter of fact, I was right on the outskirts of Indy and outskirts of where Dustin lives.
I liked it there. I did. My wife's not as big of a fan.
Is your wife from Canada?
No, we live right across the border. So like I can drive 5 miles down the road to the lake, and I can actually see all the way across to Toronto on a clear day. It's really cool. But then you look at it, like, look, it's right there. But now it's a 2-hour drive for me, but still.
Mm-hmm.
It says, I can't wait to meet you, Kelly. I hope you like hugs. Hey, I love hugs. And I'm hug me, no matter what. I love hugs.
Okay, well, chicken is done. Again, congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
I will see you. I'm sure I'll see you in a little while at Amy's.
Yep, I'll be there.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
All right. Wow, it's 5:09. I had 212 views, and as of right now, 34 concurrent. That is the most I ever had. That's awesome.
Fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
That's
you get more with
fabulous.
time.
Yep, that's what I say. It takes time, and for my YouTube channel, even if no matter what, I'll never get rich. I'm not here to get rich. I'm here to share my journey, here to share advice, share, even with my next adventure, biking, hiking, whatever it is, no matter what, if it starts getting big, the one thing that I'm not going to forget is my friends. I'm not going to forget them no matter what, because no matter what, I want to make, I'll still have my live where everybody comes together no matter what. But like to say, I'll never get rich off of YouTube. That's why I have a job. I have a career. I enjoy that career. I enjoy, turning the apartments. I have a great manager, new manager. She's great. Got a great staff, a great tech, a great company I work for. They're going to have to push me out the door to get me to leave. That's where I'm at. One day I'm hoping that they're wanting to, do something with us veteran supervisors, because I'm at a stage so I can't grow in the company, and it can't grow because it's the property manager. I don't want that job. But what they're wanting to do is they want to get trainers. They want to do stuff with the mentorship program, help with that. And I'm hoping that's something I would love to do. I know as they expand, they want to get the company to grow. We're expanding into Kansas City. They got one property in Kansas City. They want to get in the Kansas City market. They also want to work on getting in more, do more apartments in Columbia. So there's always that opportunity, but yeah, they're going to have to push me out. I love the company. A great company, especially 5 years. Every 5 years, they give you a vacation package now. And I had two $5,000 vacation packages, and I just got one. And so I will be using some of that. That's what I use to get my room in Louisville, is that vacation voucher. And they got, even though I could not get the deal that for the Keto Palooza, got it for the same price that I would have got with that discount code with Keto Palooza. So I'm good. My daughter's here.
Oh,
Hi, Cheyenne.
Are you on your own?
Yeah. Come over here and say hi. We're about to wrap it up.
I'm in a swimsuit.
Oh, she's in a swimsuit. She don't want to.
My stomach is showing.
Her stomach is showing. She don't want to. Oh, that's neat.
Actually, I can still say hi somehow.
Yeah.
Where's my face at?
Stick your face in there. Hi.
I had a blue slushie. Wait, I jumped off a boat. It was like 10 feet tall.
Oh, I guess this was given to her.
I'm gonna throw my cereal in it.
duck food.
No, but you can throw your bacon bits in it, I guess.
Well, we can throw bacon foods. It's like I'm not gonna like duck food.
Ranch and steak,
Duck
and you throw
food.
your steak bits into the ranch and this.
Well, use my ranch, not the use my ranch, not that ranch. Ugh.
It's so
Well, I can't. Like you say, you can't. You know, you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. But this is the thing: you be an encouragement. So, we're gonna wrap it up because it is 5:12. I'm glad everybody came here. I want to thank everybody's what came on the panel. Thank you, Jerry, Rick, Spanky, Bob, Dan, Aaron. Who else was on here?
Don't forget the
George.
people that gave you for the coffee. The coffee.
And I want to thank people for the coffee. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Thank you for the jewels. It means a lot. Like I always say, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, hit that notification bell when you know when the next video comes out. If you want to, it's very low price. Become a channel member. Buy me a coffee. Totally up to you. Like always, let's be kind, be positive, have a good attitude. Let's encourage and support one another. Leave the duck food to the ducks and eat that meat. Y'all have
That's
a great
right.
day. God bless.
Bye.
Quack, quack.